I had enough of the office prankster. Now, he's famous for all the wrong reasons. The prankster. We've all worked with one. The guy who thinks he's the office comedian, but his humor is just a series of escalating, poorly timed pranks. In my office, that guy was Gary. Gary started small. He'd hide your stapler, change your desktop background to a picture of a cat in a suit, or put a rubber band on the spray nozzle of the sink. Annoying, but mostly harmless. I tolerated it, like everyone else, because Gary had a way of convincing himself that he was a beloved, jovial figure and not just a nuisance. Things started to get worse when he found out I'm a bit of a clean freak and take pride in my meticulously organized desk. He'd start small, moving a monitor an inch to the left or rotating my keyboard 15 degrees. I'd fix it, and he'd do it again the next day. It was a low-level war of attrition. The final straw, however, was about to be dropped. The final straw. My boss had given me a new, high-stakes project. It was a pitch to a major client, and I had been working on it for weeks, burning the midnight oil. I was giving the final presentation to the client team the next day, and I had all my notes and printouts neatly arranged on my desk before heading out for the night. The next morning, I arrived to find my desk not just messy, but an absolute disaster. Gary had somehow managed to get in early and had gone through everything. My carefully organized papers were scattered, coffee was spilled across my keyboard, and my new wireless mouse had been replaced with a dusty, wired one from a decade ago. It was a minor inconvenience, but the level of disrespect was immense. I spent a frantic hour cleaning and reorganizing everything just before the client arrived. I was furious, but I knew confronting Gary would only make him double down. He'd just see it as me getting mad over a joke. I needed a different approach. A proportional response. The plan. I started by gathering intel. Gary, Indiana, his infinite self-aggrandizing wisdom, had an extensive social media presence. He was a personal branding evangelist, constantly posting on LinkedIn, Instagram, and even a small, struggling YouTube channel. He was proud of his Office Prank King moniker. I found dozens of videos he had recorded of his pranks, including a few of my own desk messing moments, all with his laugh track over them. My revenge would be digital. I didn't want him fired, just humiliated. Permanently. I created a new persona and a new YouTube channel with a nondescript name like Office Shenanigans Exposed. Then, I downloaded all of his prank videos. I spent an entire weekend meticulously editing them. I removed his laugh track and replaced it with a serious, documentary-style narration. The script I wrote was clinical and analytical. Subject 7. A typical office worker demonstrates a pattern of passive-aggressive behavior masked as humor to assert dominance in his workspace. Observe his deliberate disorganization of a colleague's workspace, a clear act of defiance against established social norms. I took his best of compilation and recut it. The triumphant music was replaced with sad, slow-moving cello music. The sound of his cackling was replaced by crickets chirping. I added a title card, an in-depth look at inappropriate office behavior. The masterpiece was complete. The execution. I waited for the perfect moment. I noticed Gary had a presentation for his new client on Monday morning. Knowing he'd be checking his email constantly, I waited for the client to send him a congratulatory email. I then forwarded the email to everyone in the company, congratulating him on the new client, but adding a small PS that was the key to my plan. I found this incredible video that perfectly captures Gary's genius sense of humor. Everyone should check it out. I linked directly to my documentary. The video was perfectly timed. It wasn't a viral hit, but it was a viral hit in our company. Within minutes, the whole office was watching it. Gary was getting a live look at his colleagues seeing him for what he was. A child in an adult's body. He was speechless, his face turning a shade of purple I didn't think was possible. The worst part for him? It was his own footage. He couldn't deny it. The video slowly made its way through his professional network. Colleagues from previous jobs commented on his LinkedIn, and a few of his clients asked him about the video during calls, thinking it was a joke. He was forced to take it down, but the damage was already done. Now, whenever anyone mentions a prank or a joke, he just shrinks in his chair. He's still at the company, but the title of Office Prank King is now something he desperately tries to forget. It's an inside joke that only gets brought up in whispers. And every time I hear it, I smile.